AEW Forbidden Door is 48 hours away. We had a jam-packed episode of AEW Dynamite, where we're about to get into right now. But also on this episode, we're going to be giving our AEW Forbidden Door predictions. So it's going to be a jam-packed episode of the All Elite Dirt Sheet. So let's get it started right now.
This is All Elite Dirt Sheet. Hey! Hey! Hey!
Yo, welcome to the All Elite Dirt Sheet, your AEW Dynamite post show. I'm your host, Mike Dinero, joined always by my co-host, Big TK in the building. What is up, man?
Yo, Dinero, what's good, bro? How you doing, dude?
I'm doing good, man. I'm doing especially good because it is Forbidden Door weekend, man. I always love AEW pay-per-views. That whole weekend feels like it's, the highlight of the weekend. So I'm very excited for this episode to talk about everything that's going down this weekend. What about you?
Dude, I'm stoked, dude. Forbidden Door, I'm real excited about. But I think last week was cool because we started off on a sports note. I love sports, as you know. I don't want to do this to you, and I'm not a Cubs fan. All right, I'm a Sox fan. I don't like the Cubs, but my wife likes the Cubs, so the game's on in my house. Tough weekend at the ballpark or tough week at the ballpark, I should say, for your Mets against the Cubbies, huh?
Yeah, man. Yeah, real tough. To be honest, I mean, Carlos Mendoza lost his job. It seemed like it was a long time coming. The Mets are definitely not going anywhere this year. It's been a really rough year. Our shining light was Soto was having a good season after he came back from injury. Now he seems like he's going to be back on the IL, which is unfortunate. Lindor's coming back off. I don't think that's going to lead to much. And we already dug so much of a hole that I don't think that there's any coming out of it. I do think that there's a lot of pieces that need to be moved on the offseason, maybe during the trade deadline, but I don't think it's going to lead to much. But yeah, it hurts. It hurts, especially when you see like on other teams, you got Nimmo doing good, you got Alonso doing good, and these are all the people that you gave away. It's like, God damn, man.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, the Mets right now, it's hard to be a fan, but I'm not one of those fans who only watch when it's good times. So like I'm sitting through these games and I don't know what just happened. Cool. I don't know what happened to my camera, but I'm sitting through these games and just like that camera went off right now, the Mets are just as bad. So trying to stick through it.
All right. I figured I would just, break them really quick on that topic, but we can flip it to a positive. I mean, I think AEW Dynamite this past week was pretty fire, man.
Hell yeah, man. It was definitely fire. I definitely need that palate cleanser after talking about the Mets.
Right? Yeah, Dynamite was real good. And, man, this Forbidden Door card, dude, that we're going to give our predictions in a little bit. This Forbidden Door card is money, man. I was just listening to Dave Meltzer just like rave and review about this card, man. He says that Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. have a 95% chance that it's going to be a fantastic match. Moxley and Bandito have a 95% chance it's going to be a fantastic match. He says Swerve and Ospreay has a 110% chance to be. He's like, there's not even math at maths to make sure that, this match isn't going to be good. He's like, it just seems a little weird without a world title match main eventing it. However, the 6-on-6, dude, all that when we talk about it at length about it just being an all-star match, dude, or an all-star game. That's what it is. He says there's absolutely no way that's going to go bad. So I don't know, man. I think we're in store we've had two of the best AEW pay-per-views of all time this year already. And I think we're in store for just another phenomenal show, dude.
Dude, AEW has been on fire in 2026. These pay-per-views are all bangers. I don't foresee any reason why this doesn't keep up with Double or Nothing, Revolution, and Dynasty. So I'm very excited for this Sunday.
Yeah, definitely, bro. But before we do our picks, let's get into AEW Dynamite from this past week, man. I thought the show was a lot of fun. Before we get into it, it was a different show this week, bro. So, like, what was your overall take, like, on the show? So, this week we had, and he announced it. These were impromptu matches. He announced 8 matches for a 2-hour Dynamite, and we knew it was going to go overrun. And I think it went overrun to, like, 20 minutes of an overrun, which is fine. But what was your take on it being so match heavy without the promos kind of cut in between?
I feel like we got enough promos last week There was only, I believe, like 3 or 4 matches last week, so it made up this week to have more matches. This felt like, I don't know, in a weird way, it felt like a festival, right? It felt like a pre-show to the main show on Sunday. It did feel like they were trying to get that last minute hype by telling the stories in the ring. Not only that, but we showcased more New Japan talent here. We had matches with Zack Sabre Jr., matches with TMDK, which was awesome. But it just felt like it was like one big party bringing these companies together right before we see the big show on Sunday. So I actually really liked it.
Yeah, it was awesome. The in-ring was great. Yeah, it reminded me of like a little indie show, dude, where it's just like nonstop churning of good wrestling. And that's what it was. But let's get into it. So Dynamite started off backstage segment, John Moxley, Death Riders, and it's good because as we talked about last week, Ospreay was heated. Him and Garcia had that backstage animosity. You had the fence there. The fence was there in the background here, so it was a nice a nod to when they did that. But you got Garcia, Claudio, Marina, Ospreay. Moxley's just sitting there, just spitting the gospel, right, about what the Death Riders are going to do, how they're going to succeed, how they're going to do it. And it was a real funny moment, dude. You know, the Death Riders, the move that they do when they get together and they circle around, and they had an open spot this week. Pac wasn't there, and they looked at Ospreay, and he's like, me? And they like, get in here. So Ospreay went in there, and they did their circle dance with Ospreay, man. And afterwards, he fell over. I don't know if that was it was like him just acting or whatever, but regardless, it was a real good touch. They helped him up. Him and Danny had a real good laugh, kind of about what happened last week with like wink, wink. Real fun way to start the show, man. What'd you think?
Dude, I liked it. It showed a different aspect, and I have to believe that was like 100% like a blooper that happened. They just kept it in because of how funny it was. It reminded me of, do you remember like way back in the day, like that SmackDown segment where it's like Edge and John Cena talking, and you got Rey Mysterio doing like pull-ups on the shelf, and then like the shelf breaks.
Yeah,
like that's exactly what it reminded me of. But it did give that human element. Like I talked about that human element about Ospreay hugging Windsor after he won, but Windsor lost in the Owen Hart, and she was crying in his arms. I like that human element because it keeps things real. Like it doesn't have to be polished and be perfect. It keeps it real, and it gives people a good laugh. Like, I mean, it's okay to laugh. I thought it was awesome. It just shows that camaraderie between Ospreay and the Death Riders is growing stronger and stronger.
Yeah, real fun segment. And this transitioned right into the opening match, trios match. What a fun match. You had the Death Riders taking on Brodito and Mystico. And man, we got to listen to Mystico's full theme, which was awesome, leading out to the ring. And it was interesting because Brodito got the win last week. In this match, the Death Riders went over. And it was, I thought, who was it? Wheeler was in the match, right? It was Moxley, Wheeler, and Claudio, right?
Yep.
And all right, so I had thought that Wheeler would just eat the pin, but that wasn't the case at all. Brody King ate it after Marina hit him in the head with the Continental Championship, and Moxley pinned him 1, 2, 3. What'd you think of the match, man?
Dude, amazing opening match. I loved the spot where Brody King, I don't even know what you would call it. It was like that step up into like that springboard double arm drag that he did onto Claudio and Moxley. Someone his size should not be able to move that agile. Like, dude, I'm like maybe like half his size, and it's a hard time getting out of bed. So like, shout out to Brody King because that was incredible. Great matchup. I was kind of pissed off at first that Brody took the pin, because I thought, like this guy can't afford to keep taking pins, especially if you have Mystico on that team. I didn't think it would have hurt Mystico to take the pin against Moxley or something. And if it was going to be the Death Riders taking the pin, I thought then that's why you have Wheeler there. But afterwards, I don't know. It just started to like work in my head. Like maybe it's on like purpose that he took the pin. It's by design. And I don't think that we're going to see much of Brodito going forward. I could see a heel turn come in from Brody King. And I think that that's exactly why he took the pin. It's going to further build up on his frustration. And I don't know if it happens this Sunday, but I could see him turning on Bandito. We didn't see them team up for a long time. It was a couple months. And now all of a sudden they're teaming up again. Is it because that they're trying to build up to that possible heel turn from Brody? I think so.
It's got to be, dude. And we've discussed this at length, right? Like we love Brody as a face, but Brody is meant to be a heel, man. He's destined to be just that badass big heel. And he's not getting the wins as a face. He gets a couple of wins, but every big match he loses. Every important match, every title match. So I think it would be fantastic if Brody turned on Bandito. I think it would be cool if Buddy Matthews came back and that was a way. But I don't want Brody stuck in the tag team with Buddy. So like in a way, I don't want that to happen, because I think at this point Brody needs to go and get a singles title, like a real good. Whether it's probably not going to be from Takeshita, but I mean, I guess you could have him win the national title as a face from Mark Davis. I guess you could do that, right?
Yeah, I think that would be a good spot for him too. I have another scenario. What if someone's in Brody's head? And what if that someone is Malachi Black? I know that people are saying Malachi Black is not welcomed, but what if Malachi Black is the devil on Brody's shoulder? I think it would be perfectly fitting. And I don't necessarily think that Malachi is going to be like ostracized or banned forever in AEW. It wasn't a situation where it was like CM Punk, punching people in the face. This was a guy who just didn't want to lose. But I mean, he said that when he parted ways with AEW, he had interviews and he said that him and Tony Khan were on mutual terms. It was all nothing but respect. So I could see that being like a way to get them back in. And if you have a situation where Malachi is, the one who forces Brody to turn heel, I think that would be perfectly fitting, especially like he already plays that role of being like that devil on your shoulder. And there's history there with them. It would be perfect.
And that would be great too, because you could bring Buddy back, and then Brody could be the singles guy, and then you could put Malachi and Buddy in a tag team together and let them go cook, dude. You can even do some things with the Triangle of Madness and get them mixed in, so you get Julia Hart a little bit more going. Yeah, I like it. All right. Anyways, we can talk about this Brody thing all day. But this match was a lot of fun. Some really cool spots, man. I love the three of them. They hit a tope at the same time, man. Some real cool outside spots. Claudio is just a fucking unit, dude. An absolute unit. I wish we got more Claudio, but fun match all around. But this transitioned to a backstage segment. The conglomeration was back there. Darby Allin, Konosuke Takeshita. They're basically talking about why they're doing this and why they hate Max, and it was great. Roderick said Roderick Strong said he'll never forgive him for what he did to his best friend Adam, and I love that throwback. And Darby is just saying, like, I don't give a shit about the world title right now. This is Mark Briscoe's time. I'm in this match because I want me some Kevin Knight, and Takeshita's like, I want me some Kyle Fletcher. And that's all the reason you need to know why these guys are in the match. There's a lot of hatred towards that other team. I thought it was a real good, concise segment that got to the point. What'd you think?
Yeah, man, I really like the segment too, because it gave a meaning for everybody to be there. I think that one of the criticisms that I saw online, which I thought was crazy, because we said from day one, if this is the route that they go, and it is the route that we predicted, that everyone has a reason for being in that match. But everyone's like, I saw some criticisms like, oh, it's just 6 random guys in a cage just to sell tickets. It's like, fuck out of here. There's a story with every single person. There's like multiple stories interweaving with each other in this cage matchup. But I liked it. I was expecting someone to get hurt or injured or a brawl. I mean, I still want what I said about Hangman Page to come true. So, I mean, it didn't happen on this episode. We still got Collision, or maybe it happens during the pay-per-view. But I don't know. Something tells me, seeing these guys together, that one of them is not going to make it to that cage match.
Yeah, that would be interesting if something happened at Collision. I would love if Hangman was the partner, but Hangman could maybe just come back during the match, or during the match or something, come down.
True.
But I'm with that. I'm with the prediction on that for sure. But let's see what we got. Back to the ring. Oh, this is a fun match, dude. TBS Survival of the Fittest qualifier match. Marina Shafir, Harley Cameron. I loved Harley's attire. So they were advertising the Superwoman, and she was rocking the Superwoman gear. Real dope, dude. It was great to see Harley just back there in the ring doing her thing. And as we've discussed many a time, I think that she should be the one to win the belt. I was nervous with the match against Marina, because Marina's a big deal, but Harley got some good offense in. Marina got about 3-4 minutes of offense in, and Harley with the surprise roll up. She like locked her up all nasty, dude. Harley gets the big win, man. What'd you think?
Dude, I just want to say, go back to like 2024, maybe even 2023. Would you ever think that we'd be getting a matchup this good between Marina Shafir and Harley Cameron?
No, dude.
Both these women have grown so much over the last couple of years, and I love to see the progression here. This was a very fun matchup, and it wasn't sloppy at all. Like, both of these women had sloppy matches back in the day, and now that you could see like they're really tightening up on all the skill set, it was really, really good. A lot of fun. And I'm very happy that Harley won, because she deserves it. She's been putting in the work to get better, and I think that you could tell that perfect story of Willow losing the title or having to give up the title, but her former partner, and I wouldn't even say former because they didn't really break up, but her current partner in the Babes of Wrath picks up from where she dropped off. And I think it would be an awesome setting. But I just got to say, like, seeing this matchup, both of these women have progressed so much in the last couple of years.
On all fronts, dude. Not only in the ring, but their character work is great, man. Harley is fucking phenomenal. Marina, I mean, who doesn't think she's the biggest badass in that company? Like, she's the biggest
scary,
badass.
Bro.
Yeah, dude. Like, great shout out, great call. And they're both phenomenal doing what they're doing right now. But yeah, after that match, it leads right. I mean, I like how they were going like Death Rider. So that leads into another match. So we get the Will Ospreay versus El Phantasmo match. El Phantasmo is awesome, man. New Japan talent. These guys threw down a couple of years ago in New Japan, and these guys threw down again. It was kind of a quick match, but like they got their spots in the time that it was allotted. A lot of fun. Will Ospreay ends up getting the win there. What'd you think about the match?
I thought it was really fun. I think that it was really cool for them to tell the story that this is, a matchup that they had numerous times in Japan. They traded victories back in, I think they said like 2022 or 2023. A really fun matchup. I always like ELP. I think that he's a guy that really fits AEW too. Like I could see him coming over full time or sign that dual contract like we've seen other people do. But really fun. I was just worried because having a matchup as big as Swerve versus Will Ospreay on the pay-per-view being possibly the main event and then having them both in action on this show, I was like, I hope that nothing goes awry and it just like we have clean matches, no, God forbid, injuries, right? Because like you've been building this matchup for so long. Like I was surprised that they were given these matches, but it was a nice showcase for Will Ospreay to stay strong going into the pay-per-view. I mean, we only seen Will Ospreay in tournament matches for like the last month. So to have this like little exhibition matchup with ELP, someone he has history with, was cool. And also on top of that, I also wrote down that it was also cool that we have New Japan talent on this show because we started the whole Forbidden Door concept a couple days early. So really cool. So even though these guys are not going to be on Forbidden Door, we still have some New Japan talent that are going to be on this show because they're not going to be on Sunday. Nice little crossover.
Yeah, I love it, man. Great shout out. And the match was a lot of fun, and I like how they're just like interweaving all of these segments to start the show. So you got the Death Riders into the trios match. Marina never left ringside. Like you said, we went backstage. Marina was still there, and now you got Ospreay coming out for this. Keep it up, right? Let's go. So this transition makes a lot of sense. So then after the match, Swerve comes out, him and Ospreay, some face-to-face going, dude, and then Daniel Garcia comes out. And we get Daniel Garcia. I love how he came out from the crowd, dude. I love his Death Rider. I mean, not from the crowd, like outside the arena, through the crowd. Danny looks legit, dude. And we had Daniel Garcia and Swerve. This match was a lot of fun, dude. I think this match I liked a little bit better than the Ospreay and ELP match. Not that we have to compare them, but I mean, going back to back, like there's a real fun pocket of wrestling. But these guys was a little more physical. And Danny was trying. Swerve just looks like a heavyweight now. It's crazy. Swerve used to be Danny's size, dude, and Danny's out there trying to muscle Swerve, hitting him with multiple clotheslines to take him down. Can't move the big guy. Like, when the fuck did Swerve become the big guy, dude? I mean, I love it
right now. Yeah,
dude's jacked, man. He's jacked. Good back and forth match. Some good outside spots. Swerve ends up getting the win here. He ends up, I think he ended up punking Danny after the match, which led to Ospreay coming out. Ospreay almost got the better of Swerve. Prince Nana tripped him up. Swerve ends up laying out Ospreay as well. So Swerve stands over Danny. Swerve stands over Ospreay. And Swerve looks strong looking at the Owen Hart Championship going into Forbidden Door. What'd you think, man?
Dude, awesome matchup. First of all, you had Danny outside. I wonder how long he was waiting. Like, I could just see like cars passing by. And like, why is this guy standing in like wrestling tights just waiting?
He's probably just sitting there dancing and shit while cars are driving by. Yeah.
I love the Death Riders. Everything about them, like the aura, the entrance, like right now, the Death Riders are hitting on all cylinders. And Daniel Garcia has really grown into his own as a part of the Death Riders. Like you said, for a while, it felt like, what's his place with the Death Riders? And now you feel like he is a solidified member of that team. This was a lot of fun, though. I feel like this matchup, too, was better than the Ospreay ELP matchup. I just love the intensity that Swerve is bringing right now. He's got the muscles. He's got, a lot bulkier, but he's also bringing a lot more intensity. Really good matchup. I think that these two mesh really well. I don't know. Is this the first time that they actually faced off in AEW? It can't be, right? Like,
I think it might have been. I don't remember them wrestling, but there's been so much wrestling in AEW, man, that and you would think about it, Swerve's been around. I mean, Swerve, when heel when he was, I mean, like Swerve in Your Glory. I mean, he's been this dude. He's what is this like 5 years of Swerve in AEW already? Maybe longer.
Yeah, around there. Yeah.
Fucking badass, just a badass, man.
Awesome, man. Yeah, but this was a really good matchup. I love the post match too. Like Swerve looking to break the arm of Danny. You had Ospreay make the save, and I think it was perfect that it was Danny and Ospreay because, like you said, we saw that heated moment last week between Danny and Ospreay. So shows that they got over that. And Swerve standing strong, looking strong. I don't think he's going to win, but I think that it's good that we keep him looking strong, so it's not like completely the Will Ospreay show. So really, really fun.
Yeah, it was good, man. I like that was your first hour. It was fantastic. It was just wrestling heavy, and it was all Death Riders, which I don't think I realized when I watched it live. But now that I'm going back, I'm like, that is a good hour of wrestling. I don't want to go into the internet stuff, but just the Bully Ray comments, dude, about Moxley and the Death Riders. And I'm not even going to go into like the physicality of it because I do think that John Moxley will whip Bully Ray's ass. However,
100%.
Yeah, like
100%.
Like, come on, dude. Come on, dude. But like to say that Moxley and the Death Riders are hindering AEW is just fucking blasphemy, dude. Like they are the best story in all of wrestling, the Death Riders in Will Ospreay. In all of wrestling, period. Nothing is better. Nah, I can't think of anything remotely close, dude. Like, it is the best story in all of wrestling, and it really built the shit out of Ospreay, and it made the Death Riders and Moxley, like, rejuvenated as well. I don't know. I was just like, get out of here with these comments. You talk about trying, like, we're talking about it, right? So, I mean, he gets what he wants, right? We're talking about it, but man, dude. But the Death Riders, phenomenal stuff, dude. Phenomenal.
Yeah, man. I just want to say, like, because that was one of the things I did want to talk about after we talk about the show was the whole Bully Ray thing. I do want to say that, you know, this is also coming from a guy who still claims that the Aces and Eights is one of the best TNA storylines of all time. Get the fuck out of here. Sit your ass down. Shut up. Like, honestly, you are bugging, bro. You are bugging.
Oh, man. You know what's funny? I kind of like the Aces and Eights when it was going on too. I
like to be until they started revealing themselves. Like, did we need D'Lo Brown as a
bro? D'Lo, love D'Lo, Chicago guy, big Bears fan. But no, D'Lo, Mike Knox, big LG. The man. West Briscoe. That was bad.
Taz, like he was going to do.
Yeah. There was nobody. Anyways, reel it back in. All right. Yeah, but this show, Dynamite, a lot of fun. Speaking of fun, we go backstage. You got MJF and the Don Callis family again. This is just fucking, this group is just meaty. So you got the 6 teammates, Don Callis, and then you got Trent and Rocky Romero kind of just hanging out, looking like Miami Vice backstage, looking sharp because Trent thinks for whatever reason he should be affiliated with this match. I don't know if this is going to lead to RPG Vice leaving the Don Callis family or if it's just like a little like thing that they're doing because they want to. It's funny nonetheless. But MJF's addressing his teammates. He starts addressing them, and he looks over at Trent and Rocky, and he goes, "What the fuck are you guys doing here? Get!" And then Don goes, "Go!" And Don like shoos him away. Get out of here! But it was good, dude. MJF and Andrade, they continue their animosity, dude, which was pretty funny. Kyle Fletcher says he's going after Takeshita. Jake Doyle, I think I was looking at this and I'm like, damn, I think that Jake Doyle is going to be Kevin Knight's heavy going forward, dude. Like, I think he's going to be like his heavy hand. Like, I think like that, it's got a lot of legs, but yeah, I mean, Fletcher says he wants Takeshita. Okada just says, bitch. So these guys are staking what they want. Kevin Knight once again says he wants the world championship. Andrade once again says he wants the world championship. And MJF just tells everyone to relax because they got new special shirts, dude, and it's MJF and Don Callis and Speedos on doing something on his shirt. But overall, just like the faces earlier, the conglomerations promo, this promo did what it needed to do to lead to the 6-on-6. What did you think about the promo?
I love this. First of all, with the thing with RPG Vice, I thought of you right away because you were the first person to coin the term the Don Callis family B team. And this this made them feel like such a B team and not a part of like the elite version, lack of a better term, like the elite members or the A team of the Don Callis family. So I was like, yo, they're actually playing off on this B team thing. I like this. This was such a great segment because we saw the unity of the conglomeration. We're seeing the dissension of this team. And I think that that's going to play a heavy part. They showed how it's going to continue to play a part because we saw in the main event segment. We're probably going to see it on Sunday. Even though they're a unit right here, there's still a lot of dissension. You have multiple people in this team who don't trust MJF. They want the title, and Don Callis is just trying to be the glue that holds everyone together. And dude, that shit was hilarious. I love that every time there's like a bigger member that joins the Don Callis family or is associated with Don Callis, they have like those art pieces, and it's absolutely like asinine, bro. Like insane, but really good segment. I like that they told the story that you have one team that is, all for one for all, and the next team is like, yo, we'll work with you, but we want your title. So it's really cool.
Yeah, great storytelling for sure. I love the B team. So you got Lance Archer and RPG Vice and Brian Cage and Clone and Hechicero, dude. I mean, the B team's solid, man.
Yeah, no, for sure. The B team is solid. And to be honest, if you ask me, I think that there's a B team. There might be a C team too. Like there's so many members. There might be a C team.
There's like 15 of them.
Yeah. I do want to bring up that, it has come to light since the Forbidden Door media pre-show media, whatever call that Tony Khan has, that there is some visa issues with some talent. And I think that that's why we're not seeing Mark Davis. There's a visa issue with Mark Davis at the moment. I do think that Mark Davis would have been in this match as opposed to Jake Doyle if there wasn't a visa issue.
Which makes so much more sense because him not being involved in this match or the pay-per-view in itself is, I thought they were just saving him to do a one-on-one match against a New Japan talent. Like maybe they bring over like Uemura or something, like one of their like big stars in their mid card. I thought that would have been a good spot for them, but no, this Davis is fucking the sixth man. Like it was fucking obviously going to be Davis, dude.
He's a part of that A team, if you ask me. Like he's been killing it, so I would have loved to see him in here. I'm not mad at Jake Doyle though. I want to see Jake Doyle continue to rise, but I do think that if we didn't have those visa issues, 100% that Jake Doyle would have been on the outside of the cage looking in, and Mark Davis would have been in that matchup.
Yeah, B team for Jake Doyle for sure. No, that makes sense. But I like Jake Doyle being like Kevin Knight's muscle, like specifically. And I mean, he just beat Speedball and shit, so he's getting a bit. He's a fucking gorilla, dude. He's got guys bouncing off of him. So
good call. I like that whole aspect of him being like the Diesel to Kevin Knight's Shawn. I like that.
Yes, dude. Like I would always have him with him every match, dude. Every promo, he's there with Don. Like just those three. I think it would work. I think it would work so good, and it would be huge for Kevin Knight. Every match, you got this animal outside for him. But back to the ring, real good match here, man. Zack Sabre Jr. representing TMDK. He came out with Bad News Tito and who was it, Mikey Nichols, and he took on Jungle Jack Perry. And this match was fun. Jack Perry held his own. Jack Perry got a lot of offense in on ZSJ, but ZSJ is just a fucking technical wizard in that ring, man. A lot of fun. I don't even know what he ended up doing to Jack Perry to win him or to submit him, but he had Jack Perry all sorts of locked up. Jack couldn't tap. I mean, he just like, he has to be, I quit. Like he had nothing. So there was that was like an octopus or something crazy, but it was on the mat. So just, God, he's so fun to watch, ZSJ. But that led after the match. Kenny Omega came out and we got a face off between, well, the Young Bucks came back out. Oh, no, my bad. I missed a quick thing. So after this match, that led to the Young Bucks coming out, which led to a 2-on-2 between the Young Bucks and Mikey Nichols and Bad News Tito. And Bad News Tito's got a lot of athleticism for a big guy, dude. He can horse around that ring, dude. It's too bad that Shane Hayes isn't around because I would love to see that version of them taking on the Young Bucks, but I digress. The match was good. This was like a 3-minute match, so it was really quick. It was just a way to get the Young Bucks on the card, I think. But ultimately, Kenny Omega ends up coming out. Kenny Omega, Zack Sabre Jr. go back to face. Kenny says some things to Zack. Zack doesn't particularly like it, and he says, just try to stay out of the hospital, Kenny, and walks away. So what do you think about both this whole TMDK versus the Elite?
I like how in the first hour you had all the matches intertwining and like leading to the next segment, and I like that they kept that up with everything with the Elite and TMDK here. I gotta say, dude, Jack Perry held his own for real, like on the mat too. Like I was surprised. I didn't think that he was that good of a mat wrestler, but he was holding his own with ZSJ. So I think that it's cool. Real quick, like I know there's like a lot of rumors like he hasn't signed yet. I do hope that Jack Perry does stay in AEW because I think that like he belongs in AEW. Like he's one of those 4 pillars that they talked about in the early days, and I would love to see him stay in AEW. So hopefully he does resign. But this was a very fun matchup. Very fun matchup. Both guys got a lot of offense and made Zack seem very strong going into the pay-per-view. And on a show that we have so much crazy action already, I love that they could, switch it up and have like a technical masterpiece like this, because that's what Zack Sabre Jr. brings to the table. I know a lot of people call his style boring, right? I just heard JD from New York say that Zack Sabre Jr. has the most boring style in wrestling. Dude, this is wrestling 101. Like, this is what wrestling started out as. And I love that those technical wrestlers who could go in there and just like tie you up into a pretzel. So Zack Sabre Jr. is always going to have my respect. I enjoy the style of wrestling. Like, I enjoy the crazy shit, but I enjoy the style of wrestling a lot. So it was always refreshing to see Zack Sabre Jr. on that card. And then leading into the Young Bucks matchup, really cool to see the Young Bucks and TMDK. Like you said, I do wish it was Shane Haste and Mikey Nichols, but I do like Bad Dude Tito. Yeah, the Young Bucks just look strong here. They just basically ran through them. And I think that that's because they have a matchup on Forbidden Door as opposed to TMDK having a matchup on Forbidden Door. So you want to keep the Bucks strong, especially after they lost to the Dogs. You want to keep that, you can't just have them losing every week. So I like that they won. But yeah, I wish there was a little bit more of a competitive matchup, because I think that we kind of like punked out Bad Dude Tito and Mikey Nichols.
Yeah, it was quick. It was. But it was good that they got on the show regardless, like you said, and getting that New Japan talent on you. They all lost, right? ELP, TMDK. Oh, ZSJ won. That's good. That'll be interesting at Forbidden Door. But let's keep this train rolling. I go, oh shit, 2 women's matches. I totally forgot. I didn't realize that when the show was going down. But we get another singles women's match. Queen Aminata taking on Red Velvet for the Survival of the Fittest qualifier match. We've seen this match in ROH a few times over the last couple of months for what is she at, the Pure Championship?
The Red Velvet? TV title, I think.
TV title she has. Okay. Yeah. So Red Velvet, the ROH women's TV champion. This match was good back and forth match. Red Velvet's really improved. I don't see too much ROH, but man, Red Velvet's improved. They missed a couple of moves here and there, but I think overall, I mean, they're not on live TV very often, the two of them. I think that they put on a solid match for what it was. Queen Aminata got the win as she should, and I look forward to seeing what she can do in the Survival of the Fittest match. What did you think of this match?
I think this match was really good. Like, just like everything I said about Harley Cameron, you got to say the same about Red Velvet. From when she started to where she is now, she definitely is doing well. Dude, she's one of 3 people that got a victory over Mercedes Moné in AEW since she joined. Like, because remember, Mercedes was holding that TV title for a while. Red Velvet got the victory over her. So really cool to see her here on Dynamite. But Queen Aminata, like, I don't know what it is. Like, when she first came in, I thought, like, all right, she's okay. Like, I like her. It's nothing special. But this matchup, she just looked like a star. I don't know if it's because she, like, outsized Red Velvet, but she just looked like $1 million in there. And she just, I don't know. Like, when I seen the matchup, I was like, yo, she better win this matchup. And I'm glad that she did. The Survival of the Fittest matchup that we're going to see next week for this TBS title looks very stacked so far.
Why not do that at Forbidden Door? I mean, I get putting it on Dynamite. It's a huge match for the women, and I think, fuck it, go let your women ball out. I hope they give them 30 minutes. Like, that's a match. It's elimination, right? It's
elimination. I hope it's the main event next week. I think that give them the opportunity to shine in the main event. I think they'll do great.
30 minutes, dude. Give them 30 minutes and then have that match end with Harley over Stat, dude, to end it. The final 2. Harley goes over Stat. Stat raises her hand. Willow comes out. Willow puts the belt on her. The 3 of them are in the ring. I got fucking goosebumps thinking about it, Tony. You better book it that way, man.
I love it, man. Yeah, that's exactly how I would do it. That sounds great.
Yeah. All right. Main event time. Fun match, dude. Konosuke Takeshita defending his international championship against Ricochet. Dude, really good match. Ricochet looks like $1 million in this match, dude. $1 million. It was nice that he washed the Jericho stink off of him and just got in there and rolled. This man, like, you forget, like, Ricochet, very annoying character work, which I think that's the point, right? Yeah. However, you forget just how fucking great this man is in the ring, dude. These guys tore it up. Remind me a lot of that triple threat that they had back with Ospreay a couple years ago. This was a fucking fire match, dude. Takeshita obviously ends up getting the win, but Ricochet got a ton of offense in the match, dude. And then we'll just talk about the match first, and we'll go and talk about after the match.
Dude, great matchup. Great main event to cap off a really stacked show. I think that it definitely made Takeshita look great in there. I love his new little, like, half broken mask. Like, I think that's pretty cool. But yeah, Ricochet, dude, like, for years I've been saying, like, forget what he could do on the mic. Forget like the lack of charisma. And I think that he's a lot better than he was in WWE now, like with like the mic work and the charisma. But everything he does in the ring is so crisp. Like nobody is as good when it comes to high flying as it's very like few and far between. I think Ricochet, Will Ospreay, like 1A, 1B, but everything they do looks so crisp, like it's effortless. And I think that, like you said, to wash off that Jericho stink and move on, right? It's good for Ricochet. I feel like there's been a lot of start-stop with Ricochet because of controversial shit here and there and like things that don't work out, things that do work out. But this is a good spot for him. I think that showing what he could do against some of the best talent in the world, and Takeshita, in my opinion, is the best wrestler in the world right now. I think that you really could continue to improve that stock for Ricochet. And I love this main event. I think that it was perfect the way it led into what happened afterwards, but great main event to cap off what was 7 other amazing matches. So really good.
8 matches jammed into 2 hours of free TV, dude. And I'm not complaining about it. And they were just different, diverse matches. The trios match was fun, hard hitting, high flying. You had the Swerve Danny match was real hard hitting. You had the ELP Ospreay match that was high flying. You had the Zack Sabre Jr. match. Zack Sabre Jr. Jack Perry match was a ground game. Just the squash match with the Young Bucks, dude. 2 women's matches on the show. It was good stuff, man. Really good stuff. The Harley match was real solid. Queen Aminata, like getting these women on the show. A real fun show. But the main event, Mark Briscoe comes out, cuts a scathing promo on MJF and why he's a bitch and why Mark Briscoe is not a bitch. And MJF will always be a bitch and Mark Briscoe will never be a bitch. And that's basically what I took from it.
Very much.
And the MJF comes out and he's just like, you're fucking ugly, but I'll never be ugly. And then, you're a bitch. And that's basically what I got out of the whole segment. But I think Mark Briscoe ends up almost getting the advantage, and then I think Don Callis who hit Briscoe first.
So I think Don Callis came out first, and then MJF attacked Briscoe from behind.
That's what it was,
which led to Fletcher coming out, which led to it was just like one-on-one. Like everybody that's involved in this matchup would one-on-one, like they would come out.
Yeah.
But yeah, I thought that was pretty awesome. I do think before we talk about like how it ended, I think it's very interesting how the crowd was booing Mark Briscoe. And every time he mentioned MJF, they cheered MJF. Not the reaction that AEW is looking for right now. I think.
I don't mean to be disrespectful at all to Mark Briscoe because I do love Mark Briscoe, but the fact that this is playing out into a pay-per-view, which is going to lead to a TV match, to me is fucking insane, dude. There's no reason that we shouldn't have already been done with this Mark Briscoe versus MJF match. And I'm not talking about it Forbidden Door. MJF should be wrestling a New Japan talent or something at Forbidden Door. This match should have already been done on Dynamite, or it should be going on. You could advertise this match if MJF walks after MJF beats. I'll use Uemura again because he's like their top guy, right? Like fucking if MJF goes over Uemura, then he defends against Mark Briscoe or something. I don't know, but there's no reason that this all should be a stipulation in this match that if they win, Mark Briscoe gets a title shot. Like, of course they're gonna fucking win this match. Why wouldn't they win this match? Like you said, these heels can't get along together. They're not gonna get along. Like these guys all want MJF's belt. So the fact is, that's real goofy to me, and I get why these people are booing because who wants this Mark Briscoe MJF match? Like, I mean,
it should have been Andrade versus MJF at Forbidden Door. We've been fucking calling it for like the last 3 months. Dude, it should have been Andrade versus MJF. To be honest, more than Briscoe and MJF every week, who do we see fighting? Who do we see arguing? It's always Andrade and MJF. You could have just had that play out. And then, dude, next week, Mark Briscoe gets his title shot. Or, hell, it could have been this week. You already had a stacked card. It could have been main evented by MJF versus, Mark Briscoe, and the winner goes against number 1 contender Andrade at the pay-per-view. Like, I don't know.
We've seen these guys call each other bitch and ugly for fucking 3 weeks. We couldn't have just done the match. Yeah. Like, MJF beats Roosh. MJF beats Briscoe. MJF beats Andrade. MJF loses to Kenny Omega. Triple thread it all in. I mean, I really thought like that was it. And wins Andrade's title shot. He's not going to get a fucking title shot, I don't think. I think they're just using Andrade and MJF to lead to Andrade leaving the Don Callis family down the road. Like, when is Andrade's title? Let's be real. When is Andrade's title shot? I don't see it now because he's going to do the stupid Briscoe match on Dynamite, right? And then he's going to do the Kenny match, I'd imagine, at Redemption, where he's probably going to lose the belt. So when is this MJF Andrade match going down?
Unless by some reason MJF defeats Kenny at Redemption and we do it at Grand Slam Mexico. That's the only place I could see it actually working is doing Andrade MJF for the world title, Grand Slam Mexico. I think
is Grand Slam Mexico after Redemption or before?
Redemption is July, I believe is like July 30th. And then I believe Grand Slam Mexico is August 5th. So it's like right afterwards. I think 100% Andrade is getting a title shot in Mexico. I just don't think it's going to be Andrade versus Kenny, because then it's like too obvious that Kenny's going to win. Like why would he win the title against MJF and then like a week later lose it to Andrade in Mexico? That would be ridiculous. So I think that there's a possibility that we see MJF beat Kenny at Redemption. And that would cause
3-0 against Omega. That's crazy, dude.
Just because I don't know. Like I want to see Omega versus Ospreay in front of a stadium. I think that's amazing. That's a dream matchup, even though they had it, but that would be awesome to see in Wembley. And they've been building that. Like we've been seeing like the backstage stuff with Kenny and Ospreay right after every pay-per-view. I just don't think that it has enough stock as MJF versus Will Ospreay. And on top of that, I do think that we saw the whole thing with Jon Moxley and Kenny Omega right after Double or Nothing. What if that's alluding to Kenny Omega versus Jon Moxley for the the Continental title at All In? I think that's a hell of a matchup. I don't think that anyone's going to complain if we get Kenny versus John for the Continental title. So maybe we don't slide Kenny into the world title match at Redemption. But even this week on the show, he was all like, then I'm going to get my redemption against MJF. So it's like, I highly doubt that they go any other way.
No, it's got to be Kenny. I know. I think maybe they do the triple
crazy.
Threat. I just think you're right. We booked this for 3 months. Andrade should have been in this match against MJF for sure.
100%.
Whatever. It is what it is. But yeah, I get why they're booing him. But yeah, it was fun, man. I just didn't remember the order. But yeah, man, MJF, Briscoe, and then Kevin Knight and Darby, and Roderick was out pretty soon, not long after, and Doyle was out. And Doyle, I think, took out Roderick and O'Reilly. I think fucking Doyle was just out there beasting dudes off of his chest. I don't remember who finally took Doyle down. Was it Darby?
I think it might have been Darby. And then no, it might have been Orange Cassidy, because I remember Orange Cassidy standing tall, and then you had MJF like kick him in the nuts, which led to the whole thing with Briscoe and Andrade at the end. That's a crazy schmaz to lead into what's going to be a crazy pay-per-view matchup.
Yeah, it was fun. MJF ends up punching Andrade in the head with the ring on accident. Andrade was holding Briscoe for whatever reason, like Wrestling 101, as if we didn't see that one coming. And MJF wallows Andrade with the ring, and that's what we get going into Forbidden Door. I don't know, man. I really enjoyed this segment on the show. It was just like a classic wrestling fucking hoorah before a pay-per-view clusterfuck. And I love that clusterfuck shit, dude. So what'd you think about the segment? And we'll give our grades.
I'm so glad it was a clusterfuck, because honestly, when you had the great match between Takeshita and Ricochet, and then you just had Mark Briscoe cutting a promo, I was saying that if this just ends with Mark Briscoe cutting a promo and getting booed, like this is a very bad way to go into the pay-per-view. But the fact that you had everyone come out saved it, because it definitely felt really weird that Mark Briscoe was just like, he was cutting this promo and it just felt like it was going and just going and going and going and dragging. So I was like, thank God something happened after this, because if the last thing we see before this pay-per-view is a Mark Briscoe promo that doesn't connect, like, would we be as excited? I don't think so.
No, not at all, dude. No, it was good. A really, really fun segment and a really good show, a wrestling-centric show. So I guess you're first this time, man. So that being said, what is your grade for this week's Dynamite?
My grade is going to be 0.25 more than whatever your grade is. So what's your grade?
All right.
Nah, I think I'm going to give it a 4.25. I think that it was a lot of fun, a lot of great action. Every match was great, right? I do like that they told some of the stories within the wrestling, and I like how they intertwine like different matches and like they weave things together. I love when they do that. I think even though like it was a lot of fun, I think that maybe we eliminate one of these matches and have something else that builds up to the pay-per-view. I don't know. I just feel like it was a little too much. Like when you have 8 matches and every hour you have 4 matches, I feel like there could have been something to like really drive home, maybe like the Ospreay and Swerve matchup, as opposed to just like the face-to-face and like the little interaction that they had. So I think that took it down just a bit. because it was great wrestling, but a little too much wrestling. Just like last week was great promo work, but a little too much promo work. Maybe like another matchup would have added to that show as well. So I feel like for every reason that like last week got it's great, I got to give this week it's great. Like it was a little too much wrestling, which is not, it sounds crazy for a wrestling show, right? Especially with everything that you're getting on the other channel. But I do feel like if this is a go home show, then maybe another promo, in-ring promo that really drives home like the main event matches would be better. Even though I know they did that in the end with the Briscoe thing, but for God's sake, as much as they're building up that cage match, the real main event is these two guys we see right here on the screen. This should be the main event. So I think another like real strong promo work that we did last week, if we would have had that this week, it would have been perfect.
Yeah, you're right. You're definitely right on your breakdown. I think last week I was 0.25 ahead of you.
Yeah.
And I believe this week I'm 0.25 ahead of you again, dude. This is a crazy transition what we got going on. But just like I did enjoy the promo heavy week last week because I feel like the matches they had last week were long. So when they slid them in and were efficient with it. This week, I love wrestling. So like just getting, like I mentioned earlier, like the 5 different styles of matches plus 2 women's matches on the show was awesome to me. And the promos that slid in the opening promo with the Death Riders, the backstage with the conglomeration, the backstage with the Don Callis family. Oh, I forgot to even mention the dogs and Cope and Cage beat the shit out of each other backstage.
That's right.
Like,
yeah.
That was, and David Finlay was just, I don't know what the fuck those two guys do. And Gabe Kidd. I don't know what these guys do, man. But I feel like Juice Robinson should be a dog. I feel like Juice Robinson should leave the Bang Bang Gang and join the dogs. And maybe he does it at some point. But
well, him and Finley were a tag team, so like it would make sense.
Yeah, Finn Juice. Yeah, for sure. Yeah, but just like his persona, like he's just a psychopath like these guys. Like he fits them so, and he's great with the Bang Bang Gang. Don't get me wrong, but these guys are just psychopaths, dude. And I'm just great backstage segment. That one was as well. Yeah. And then the way they ended the show with the 12 guys just doing the clusterfuck of it. So I really did enjoy the show, and I loved all the wrestling centric nature of it. My biggest complaints would have been that they didn't build their third main event up at all, the Mercedes match. However, there's multiple promos on the show, Mercedes promo, a Maya World promo, and they're going to get the main event on Collision, Mercedes and Athena taking on Maya World and High-End. So they're going to tell that and let that breathe for Collision. So I'm totally cool there. But yeah, man, solid 4.5 out of 5. Good. It felt like a good, solid, independent show leading into the pay-per-view.
Dude, for sure, 100%. I do want to ask you, like, I know we're going to talk about it as we do the predictions, but were you shocked that Maya World defeated Athena?
I think shocked is an understatement, dude. I wish it wasn't spoiled for me on Twitter. I put the show on, and I don't know, me and the kid, we did the podcast with Justin, and then we had dinner, and then we put the show on, we were chilling, and then we both passed out. And then I woke up and I saw the spoiler, and I was like, ah! Yeah, it's shocked. I mean, like, cool. It's cool. I guess they're building up a future potential talent, but I guess to me, it just made me think that Athena was going to lose regardless, and that this spot was supposed to be for Saray. So would a Mercedes versus Saray Owen Hart Cup Finals done anything for you?
I think they probably would have went that route just to keep the Forbidden Door concept for this matchup as well. But no, I think I would have rathered, if it wasn't Maya, I think that I would have rathered Athena versus Mercedes 100%. I think that would have tore up the house on Sunday.
And I think you could have pivot that. I get that, it was going to be Saray or whatever based on this booking, and you gave Maya World that big win, right? Like that was great for her. Her brother passed. You gave her a huge win on national TV. But I think that should have just cut it short, man. This don't feel like a triple main event to me. Mercedes versus Athena. That's a fucking huge win. But do you want Athena to lose the Mercedes for a third time in 2 years?
No, but you know what? I also don't think that that's the third main event. Like I think that the bigger main event would be Kenny versus Zack Sabre Jr. So yeah. I honestly, dude, the crowd is getting behind Maya World. This could be one of those things where organically someone gets over and they just go with it.
Yeah.
Dude, I don't know. Are you ready to get into the predictions? Because I feel like
I'm stoked for this show.
Yeah, I'm very stoked. I got some crazy takes, but I'm very stoked.
I love it. And I'm stoked for the match that they added on the buy-in I just saw, dude. Yeah. Is she the second member? Is she like Did she pass Julia Hart in some capacity? Because I think she's probably gonna get this win, right?
I think because Julia Hart's like all wrapped up right now with the TBS title, I feel like maybe that's why we're seeing more of Sky Blue getting these, these moments and these matches. But I'm never going to complain because Sky Blue is really growing on me, and she's awesome in the ring. I think that she's Chicago girl as well. So I definitely. Yeah, I'm not mad at it. I think that if we didn't see no Julia Hart, that'd be different. But because Julia Hart has been wrapped up with the whole TBS, survival of the fittest thing, I think that's cool that we're seeing some more Sky Blue one-on-one.
Julia Hart should have beat Persephone. I'm sorry, dude. That's what I'm saying. But Sky Blue's gonna end up winning this match and because this is for a survival of the fittest spot. So Sky Blue ends up winning this match and then she's in the title match. Is that what happens?
I would say I knew the matchup was signed. I didn't know it was for the. Yeah. I see it here. Yeah, it says survival of the fittest qualifying match. That's very interesting.
So Julia Hart loses, Sky Blue wins, gets in. Like, what's going on, dude?
Unless Sky Blue doesn't win. Unless Sky Blue doesn't win. I don't know.
I even heard of this other girl. They can't put her in this match, can they?
I think that Maika. I think once Forbidden Door is done, right? I think that to make Forbidden Door 2027 special, we really got to cool it with like all the cross promotion stuff, because I think the reason why this doesn't feel so special when it comes to like the cross promotion matches is because we see it all throughout the year. So I think that if that's the case and you really want to like keep it special, we got to like after the final bell rings on Sunday, it's like, all right, Stardom, CMLL, and New Japan, we'll see you guys next year. You know what I mean? Yeah. So if that's the case, then Sky Blue has to win this. But let's get into the Forbidden Door predictions. Let's go. So let's start right there. Sky Blue versus Maika starting out on the Forbidden Door buy-in. Right now, the buy-in has two really strong women matches, and I think that it should be a lot of fun. But Sky Blue and Maika, who do you think wins?
Oh, Sky Blue, man. Definitely. Sky Blue is going to be an awesome sixth person in that survival of the fittest match. I'm really looking forward to that match, dude. It's going to be good. And Sky Blue will get the win here.
I agree 100%. I think Sky Blue wins. I thought Sky Blue was going to actually go pretty far in the Owen Hart. I thought that would have been fun if you told the story of what if Sky Blue wins this tournament? Does she go after Tekla? Because, they're in the stable with each other. But I think that it would be fun to see her as, a top contender for the TBS title. So I'm not mad at that.
I'm not laughing at you. I'm just thinking like Mercedes Moné, Sky Blue, triple main event. Forbidden Door.
Dude, the internet will burn down.
You couldn't have told me when this tournament started. Neither one of them were in the tournament when the tournament started. Bro, think about that.
Yeah.
Mercedes. So what is this supposed to be, Willow versus Saray for the finals of this? Wow. I forgot Willow. Yeah.
I think that Willow probably would have won. I remember last year, All In, right? We had the title match. It wasn't the title for title, but we had the TBS champion go against the world champion when Mercedes fought Tony, right? I think that they will probably try to replicate that and have Tekla versus Willow. And I wouldn't have been opposed to Willow winning both titles. I mean, I think we've seen Willow with 2 titles before, but it was with the tag titles. If we have her as TBS champion and women's champion and you like merge those titles, would have been awesome. I think that they definitely were probably going to go with Willow versus Tekla at All In. So it's just crazy how, like you said, like now there's, 2 women in the finals and they weren't even in the tournament to begin with. So it's crazy.
Crazy, dude. I can't believe I just picked that up. Like, I was never thought about that. But yeah, anyway.
Very interesting. So next up we have for the AEW Women's World Tag Team Champions, it is Thunder Rosa and Olympia versus Divine Dominion. Who you got?
I think I'm going to have Thunder Rosa and Olympia. No, Divine Dominion for sure. These girls just can't get on TV though. So, I mean, I don't know. It's I miss Megan Bain. I miss Megan Bain a lot. The Megasis. I miss her.
Yeah. I miss when they're on TV. Like they are very dominant. I love them as a team. And I feel like we're just holding off on them because there's not many teams for them to go against until we get to All In and possibly get the Brawling Birds. But because you don't have, that's a problem for AEW because you don't have tag teams that could contend with Divine Dominion. We're just taking them off TV, but then that makes the tag team titles seem less than. So I feel like let them win. dude, where is the inspiration? Like, where are these like other teams that you could?
In my head, dude, that's insane, bro. That's wow.
Great minds.
You just took that from my head. Beautiful. Yeah. Where are they? You can't. Well, didn't they lose to these girls like in like 2 minutes a while back?
I know. No, they lost to the Brawling Birds. I think they got,
that's what it
got
was.
Squashed by the Brawling Birds.
Squashed by the Brawling Birds. I mean, why do that to them? Why not build them as a legitimate tag team? Like they've won championships in WWE, championships in TNA. I don't know. I think that was probably. But you could have brought them in and made them build them up a little bit. I don't know. The tag division is pretty weak for the women. I feel bad for Megan. I want Megan out of it. And Lena Cross is great too, but big Megan Bain supporter over here. She needs to be on TV more, you know?
I definitely agree. But yeah, hopefully we have some direction for them. All right. Main card. Let's get into this main card right now.
Oh.
So on AEW, right now I'm on AEW's website, right? Their official website. I don't know if this is the triple main event because it is listed as the first matchup on the main card, but Maya World versus Mercedes Moné for the AEW, the finals of the Owen Hart. Winner gets a title shot at All In. Who do you got?
Oh, this is easy, dude. This is Maya World all day, dude. She's going to win this match. She's going to go to All In. She's going to take the belt off of Tekla. She's going to go to ROH. She's going to beat Athena. She's going to be Maya too. No, I'm just kidding, dude. Good for her. Great story. Crazy surprise. I don't know how you top this match as a triple main event, though. Mercedes, right? I mean, come on. Tekla Mercedes gets her big win at All In.
Yeah, you know what? If I don't see Tekla becoming a babyface, obviously. I don't see Mercedes becoming a babyface right now. Like she's such, she has all that heel energy right now. Maybe the big story for All In is having that feel-good moment. You have the ultimate heel in Tekla versus Maya World, someone who no one thought could get there. She pulled out the upset against Athena, right? The crowd really got behind her. The crowd was going crazy when she beat Athena. The crowd was going crazy when she beat Sky Blue. Maybe you get to All In. You still have months to build this up so you could get the babyface sympathy factor. You could have her, get jumped by Tekla and the Sisters of Sin. I would not be opposed to a big upset here and Maya World actually winning. Will I think they go that route? No, I think that 100%. I think that they're going to probably give it to Mercedes, but I would like to see a shocker because I feel like everyone's going into this matchup saying that it's predictable, right? 100%. Mercedes is going to win, but what if she doesn't? Just like, everyone said that Athena was going to beat Maya, but she didn't. So what if she's able to keep this momentum going? I mean,
yeah.
Look at the push, like not to talk about WWE, but look at the moments like when Kofi Kingston, like Kofi Mania, right? Unexpected, but the crowd got behind it and he was able to earn that sympathy from the crowd. And it took him, he rode that momentum all the way to Mania and became a world champion, right? I get a similar vibe right now with Maya World, possibly riding this momentum all the way to All In. And I think that, like, if your number one title matchup is two heels going at it, like, it's not going to be as much fun as the ultimate underdog in Maya World going against an unstoppable Tekla as the heel, especially if Tekla destroys all of Stardom. Like, it would be awesome. Like, so to be honest, I would like to see Maya World actually win this because she made me a believer.
Damn, you just sold me on this, dude. And I guess I was sitting here like, how could Mercedes lose to Maya World? Like, that doesn't make sense. Mercedes just lost to like 13 people across the world without giving a flying fuck. What's one more loss to her, right?
Right.
and like then she completely breaks down, goes crazy, goes mental. Damn, I don't hate it. And then you have 2 months to build her to the world title. And wow. That's great.
There's other big matches you could do with Mercedes for All In. So like I wouldn't think that she needs to be in the title matchup.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, interesting. I dig it, dude. I think that's phenomenal booking, and it's a great way to build a new star. And then she walks out of All In as world champion, Maya World,
Maya World champion.
Shit! And that's just for taking a spot from Tegan Knox that night. Just isn't it crazy how opportunities work, man?
Insane. But yeah, I mean, I wouldn't be opposed to it. Like I said, I don't think that's going to happen, but why not just keep the momentum strong? You have the opportunity right now when we've been talking for months about there's not enough stars in this division. You have the opportunity to create a star right here. You've already started the star making creation by having her run through these competitors in the tournament. Why not just go all the way? And if it doesn't work out, right, you could always make it a 3-way. Like if you say you pull the trigger, she wins the tournament, and you see that like the crowd's like, all right, now this is bullshit, right? This is just a sympathy thing, or like, no, we don't believe in her. You could always pivot. You could always like do an audible and fucking have Mercedes find a way in to make it a 3-way. And then you have 2 stars in there. So Maya World is not looked at as like the only competitor. So I think why not take a chance? Why not take a chance?
Love it. Love it, dude. Creative.
Thank you. Let's talk about Shota Umino versus Pac. This is going to be a fun ass matchup. Who do you got?
Dude, fun match. This match is set up by Gabe Kidd going overseas after Shota beat Andrade for the global championship. And Gabe Kidd dogged him, said, "You're never a Death Rider. You're a bitch." A lot of bitch talk on this show. These guys love this word, dude. But he dogged Shota Umino out, and this led to Shota Umino, or Pac challenging Shota Umino. I love it, dude. This match is going to fucking absolutely bang. Shota's a star, man. Absolute star. He'll be IWGP World Champion sooner than later for sure. He was John Moxley's young boy, dude. And I love Shooter. For a long time, I love Shooter. This match is going to be great, and Shooter's going to go over the Death Riders. I don't see any long-term to this, but I don't know. Do you think maybe it could lead to like a Shooter Moxley match at Wrestle Kingdom or something?
Yeah, I mean, I think that would be awesome. You had the story already right there. Like he was John Moxley's young boy, like you said. I do got to say, just like Mark Davis, if there was no visa issues, I could have seen this being Gabe Kidd versus Shota. That's what they started to build. Gabe Kidd is cleared. So I think that the only reason why this is not Gabe Kidd is because of the visa issue. But yeah, I think Shota wins. I mean, Pac, he's amazing, but it's not going to hurt him to lose to Shota Umino. He's not losing to the young boy anymore. Like Shota Umino is a bona fide star in New Japan. So I think that Shota wins, especially when you look at the other matches on here. Not going to be many victories for New Japan Pro Wrestling. So I think that this would be a nice little spot for them. Yeah,
no doubt. It's going to be a great match. Shota's done a couple of these Forbidden Doors now.
Yeah, no, for sure. And he always shows out too. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
And Pac was in the original Forbidden Door in that sick-ass Fatal 4-Way for the International Championship with Malachi Black, Miro, and
Clark Connors. Yep, that's when he was coming out with his little cowboy hat like that.
Yep.
Really fun matchup, man. I remember that. And this is like totally like off topic.
All Atlantic title. I'm sorry, it wasn't the International.
Oh, yeah,
All Atlantic. My bad.
Horrible name, bro. Horrible name. Like International is so much better.
Yeah.
But I remember wanting to see like Miro mix it up with Pac for a long time because there was like real life beef there over like some shit that happened in WWE. So like that was the first time they got into it in AEW. I thought it was really cool.
Yeah, it was a fun match, dude.
For sure. Next up, we have a 3-way tag matchup. It is the Young Bucks versus the team of Shingo, Takagi, and Titan. And the Sky team, we got Masquerada Dorada and my man Mystico, who's, he's going to get that beautiful intro again. Like, I love that intro song.
I love it, dude. I love it. I love Sky team. What a great team, dude. Shingo and Titan. I mean, Meltzer was just raving about this match, dude. Like what I was talking about earlier. He's like, then you got the triple threat tag match. What could go wrong at that one? You got the Young Bucks and you got Sky team. He's like, I don't think those guys have ever mixed it up. And then you add in Shingo and Titan. Oh man, yeah, Meltzer is going crazy. This match is gonna bang, dude. It's gonna be a lot of fun. The Young Bucks get the win. I don't think there's any doubt the Young Bucks get the win. They're gonna build. We saw that brief stare down backstage between the Young Bucks and Copen Cage. I think it's probably going to be your all-in match. It's probably going to be just a straight tag match, Copen Cage, Young Bucks, and I'm there for it. But I think the Young Bucks get the win here in a very, very fun match. Dude, I can't wait to see. Shingo Takagi is another one. I think he's done 3 of these now for Forbidden Doors. It's nice to see him represent. Should be a fun match.
Now, yeah, I think the Young Bucks win. They have to stay strong. You are slowly building to that Copen Cage matchup. I don't think we wait till All In. I still think that if you have the opportunity to do the New Day versus the Young Bucks dream matchup at All In front of a stadium, you do that. So I think that possibly you do that at Redemption. I think that this should be a really good matchup, though. This is a possible show-stealing matchup, but the Young Bucks are going to win, and they're going to continue to look strong.
Yeah.
We got for the Continental title, this matchup should be a lot of fun. It's going to be Jon Moxley versus Bandito. First time ever matchup. I don't think that they ever went one-on-one. So I'm glad that they went this route instead of Moxley versus Brody King. But this is going to be a fun matchup for sure.
Yeah, very much so. Looking forward to it. Moxley's going to get the win. I think we talked about this last week a little bit, though. How does Moxley get the win in under 20 minutes over Bandito? All of Moxley's Continental Championship matches go to that 20-minute time limit. And I think he did one on pay-per-view that went to the 20 minutes, and they called it. They said no. He wanted it to go on. They said no. They let it ride. I don't think you can go draw on a pay-per-view here. I think that would be real weak booking. Moxley's going to get the win, man. I don't know how he does it. I don't know how he does it under 20 minutes. So I wish this title didn't have that stipulation, the 20 minutes, and then it just wouldn't be a thing. But Moxley gets the win.
Yeah, I think that Moxley gets the win as well. I also wish that the Continental title didn't have that stipulation about no one could be at ringside, because I think that this would have been the perfect moment to have Brody King turn on Bandito and you could start building that feud. But since you have that stipulation that no one could be at ringside, if there is going to be a turn, it's probably going to be after the matchup. But I don't see this going to a draw, and I don't think Moxley loses the title here. If he loses the title here, this would be fucking massive for Bandito. Bandito is, we talk about Bandito and Takeshi is probably like 1A, 1B best wrestlers in the world right now. But John Moxley's just on this like career run with this Continental title. I think he continues to hold it. And I do think we're going to get Kenny and Moxley at All In for that title. But I think John Moxley retains here.
And if it's not Kenny and Moxley, I think it's going to be Moxley and Swerve. So like regardless, we're getting Moxley's going to be in a fucking certified main event at all.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I remember we said last week, because of the whole interaction with Mox and Swerve last week, it would be a great way to continue to build that. Because what do you do with Swerve at All In?
Right.
I don't think he's winning, so I think that
if your two big matches at All In, bro, is MJF, Ospreay, and Omega for the world title, and Swerve and Moxley for the Continental title, Mercedes and Tekla for the women's title. And I'm just saying Young Bucks and Coben Cage for the tag titles, and then the New Day shows up after the match and confronts the Young Bucks after the Young Bucks get the win over Coben Cage. Bro, that's like
that's money right there.
That's like as big as you could. And I'm so sorry. You got Takeshi and Fletcher probably throwing down as well. I mean, man,
money. Man. I love it. For the AEW tag team titles, we got Copen Cage versus the Dogs. Who you got?
I can't make my joke again. I've done it already, but I'm gonna go with Copen Cage, dude. Mad respect to the Dogs. They made themselves look like $1 million fucking dollars. Going over the Young Bucks. When they attacked Copen Cage in the first place with the 5-second pose this past week, man, just complete stars these guys are. But it's not their time yet. Copen Cage.
Yeah, I agree. Copen Cage, I think that now that Gabe Kidd is actually, cleared, if we could fix the visa issues, I would like to see Gabe Kidd and Clark as the tag team, and then give Dave Finlay his, own singles run. Maybe he could go after one of the single titles. But I think that Copen Cage win this matchup. They continue to look strong. They just won those titles. This is like their last run as a tag team. I don't think that they're going to lose the titles anytime soon. So Copen Cage win this matchup. All right, we're coming down to the final four. This technically is like a four. What would you say? Like instead of a quadruple main event, because the next four matches are all stacked. For the AEW Women's Champion, we got Tekla versus Starlight Kid. Tekla, who's been on this crusade to kill Stardom. We have Starlight Kid, who's representing Stardom. I think this is going to be a hell of a matchup. I've been seeing a lot of Stardom highlights of Starlight Kid. She's phenomenal. This is going to be a lot of fun. Who do you got?
Yeah, I don't know too much about her. I have seen the highlights. She looks great. Regardless, Tekla has just carried this feud, and by feud, I don't mean this feud going into the match. I mean this feud with a fucking promotion by herself, dude. What a star. What a superstar. I say it each and every week. Tekla is $1 million, dude. I can't wait for the match. Everything she does. Tekla touches is gold, dude. And she has carried this feud against Stardom by herself, just in ways that when have you seen so? It's a one against nothing feud. It's just she's done it so magnificently. I think I said something on the thing with Justin and my son over the weekend about the mask. She said it. No, that was her being vulgar. Yeah, she said she's gonna shit in the mask and leave it in the ring, dude. I was like, man, I bet she does it. But Tekla, man, all day. What about you?
Yeah, I don't see a world where Tekla loses the title before All In. She is killing it right now. She's just dominating that women's division, and I think that she's going to win this matchup. But then, like, what does Stardom go back to Japan and they say, yeah, like this girl came back and destroyed the whole company? Like, I don't know. It's really weird. So I don't know where they go with this. There's probably going to be like a post match, Schmaz. You have I forgot his first name. I know it's also Okada is his last name, but the owner of Stardom, you can have him like, do some shit with Tekla. Maybe we build up something else, but I do see Tekla winning this matchup 100%.
I really enjoyed Azuki, dude. I would like to see her and Tekla go at it, maybe at Redemption or something. That would because we got no one for Tekla to wrestle anyways at Redemption. So I think like if you continue the Stardom thing, which you don't have to do, Forbidden Doors over, but I think Azuki and Tekla could be a lot of fun.
I do too. To be honest, I was so impressed by Hazuki. I think that I would have rather her on this show. Maybe not against Tekla, maybe like in that matchup with Sky Blue, but then she would have to win because I don't think Sky Blue's being Hazuki. But
no way.
So now going based off of, and this is why I'm a little scared. Now going based off of what is on AEW's website, right? I do not know why this would be listed here, but we're just going to talk about it here. Next up, we have Will Ospreay versus Swerve Strickland for the winner of the Owen Hart. Winner gets a title matchup. I said it. This should be the closing of the show. This should be the main event. I don't even know why this is not, like, why is it listed before Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr.? That's going to be a phenomenal matchup, but not main event. I think that this should be the main event because the winner of this matchup gets the biggest title shot in the calendar year of AEW. Why would this not be the main event? It was the main event last year for Double or Nothing. It should be the main event this year, but it might not be because it's listed here as the third of the three main events. So who do you got? I know we've been talking about it, but like, how do you see this going down?
Yeah, it should be the main event. It absolutely should be the main event, dude. I guess you'll probably have the cage match be the main event, which makes sense because you have all those super, like, just stars in the match. But I would probably open with the cage match, start the show with the cage match, get all that in, get all that craziness in, out of the way, dude, and then go run your show after that, man. That's how I would run it personally. But if this is not the main event, that would be pretty disappointing. But regardless, the match is going to absolutely be fire. Like I said, what Meltzer said earlier, well, there's a 110% chance these guys are going to have a fantastic match. Well, no fucking shit, dude. These guys are two of the best in the world. Their storytelling is impeccable. This match is going to be awesome. Swerve's going to get a lot of offense in, man. Swerve's going to rip him up. I really hope that we don't get outside interference. I don't think it's needed. I don't think the Death Riders need to help Will Ospreay win this match. I hope that Ospreay just gets it done on his own after like a 28-minute barn burner, man. But Will Ospreay, for sure, goes on the main event at All In route to winning the title.
Yeah, man. Dude, first of all, if that cage matchup was the opener, you have a strong argument of probably the craziest opening matchup in professional wrestling history for a pay-per-view if that was the opener. I wouldn't mind that, though. I definitely think that this should be the main event. But yeah, I agree. I think that Swerve is going to go after the neck. It's going to be hard hitting. I go back to their matchup at Forbidden Door, which was the main event for Forbidden Door 2024. I was there. It was one of the best matches I've ever seen live. A great match between these two. And I think that they've grown so much since then. I think that this is going to be a great matchup. But like you said, we're going to see Will Ospreay attempt to get his Wembley moment. He said it's his World Cup. I like that. I think that we're going to go that route. Will Ospreay is going to be wrestling for the world title in front of his home country. And I think that he's going to not win the matchup, but he's going to survive the matchup because Swerve is going to just beat the shit out of him. I'm expecting a very good matchup. It's probably going to steal the show. This is right now. I'm looking forward to this matchup more than anything else on the show. So with that, I guess the co-main event is going to be Kenny Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. This is going to be a very fun matchup, but if it is placed as the co-main event, then I think it's safe to say that it's going to lead to Kenny Omega winning, getting a title shot at the Redemption pay-per-view. But this could be middle of the card if you ask me, man. Like, I don't know about putting this as the co-main event. Not saying the way it's listed here on AEW's website is going to be the way it actually plays out, but I don't think, if Omega versus Zack Sabre Jr. was going to be middle of the card, I don't think it's going to be listed as, the second to last matchup. So I think this is how it's probably going to play out. I think that Kenny Omega wins, but it's going to be a great styles clash. You have the technical wizard versus a guy who pretty much could do it all. I mean, he's a Brazilian jiu-jitsu, I think, blue belt. He is one of the best high flyers. He's a hard hitter. I think Kenny Omega and Zack Sabre Jr. are going to match up really well. I've only seen one of their matches before. It was in PWG, but it was years ago, right? So like it hasn't been anything that, this is not Kenny Omega the Cleaner versus Zack Sabre Jr. from TMDK. Like, so to see this, like with the modern day Omega, modern day Zack Sabre Jr. is going to be a lot of fun. But yeah, I think Kenny Omega wins this matchup for sure.
Oh man, I can't wait. It's interesting though, because if you're looking at like from the Forbidden Door aspect of it, putting these two guys, it's the true AEW versus New Japan matchup as the co-main event does make sense. And it's a good buffer going from Ospreay and Swerve to the main event, because I think those matches are just going to go crazy. But this match is going to go crazy too, dude. It's just going to go crazy in a different way. This match is going to be awesome. It's going to be a 5-star match for sure. Kenny Omega gets the win en route to getting the title shot at Redemption, and probably getting his redemption and winning his, what I would say is last world championship in AEW. And he's going to hold it just for a month.
Damn, man, I don't know. Like, it's gonna be crazy. It's definitely gonna be crazy. I could see it going that route too, but I don't want it to go that route. I definitely would like to see MJF hold it all the way through. But with that being said, all-star main event, cage matchup, 12 men. It's going to be insane. Team MJF is going to be MJF, Kyle Fletcher, Kazuchika Okada, Kevin Knight, Jake Doyle, and Andrade versus Mark Briscoe, Konosuke Takeshita, Darby Allin, Kyle O'Reilly, Orange Cassidy, and Roderick Strong. I mean, just that's a mouthful in itself, but like the amount of stars in that matchup is absolutely insane. It's going to be in a cage. If it's anything like last year's Forbidden Door, it's going to be a bigger cage that surrounds the whole ringside area. I could see crazy spots, crazy action, and a lot of intertwining stories that is going to continue to set the table for Redemption and for All In. So I'm excited. Who do you got? Like, how do you see this playing out?
Oh man, I'm stoked. This match is going to be a lot of fun. Whether it actually does close the show, whether it opens the show, regardless, it's going to be fucking pandemonium. Probably some blood in the match, which is why it's probably going to close the show. Blood and be at the cage. It's going to be Briscoe's team. They're going to get the win. I'd imagine at some point they're going to have a advantage. The heels are going to have an advantage, maybe like a 4-on-1, and MJF's going to get into it with Kevin Knight, and he's going to get into it with Andrade, and maybe like they're going to end up turning on him or something along those lines, leading to Jay Drilla 1, 2, 3. I mean, Briscoe's going to pin MJF to win this match. It's not going to be like Jake Doyle taking the pin in this match. MJF's shoulders are going down in the middle of the ring, and it's probably going to be Briscoe pinning him on pay-per-view again. But the match itself, dude, it's going to be a whole hell of a lot of fun. I'd imagine it's going to be 30 minutes of just pure clusterfuck craziness inside of a cage, and I'm stoked to see what these guys do, man.
Yeah, man. I mean, I would have rathered a world title shot, right? Even if you went the Briscoe versus MJF route, like you have a world title shot on the pay-per-view. You're not defending the New Japan title. The IWGP title is not on the show, so it would have been fun to have at least one world title shot on the show. But yeah, I see it the exact same way. I think that Briscoe wins because of Andrade, who's going to turn on MJF. But I mean, what if that doesn't happen? I mean, like I said, you hear that crowd, you listen to that crowd, and that crowd was not for Briscoe getting a title shot, right? Mark Briscoe talking about wanting to be the world champion. The whole crowd booed, and they all started chanting MJF. What if you don't go that route then? Like it would have meant that you built all this up for nothing. But what if you just don't go that route? Maybe someone on Team Briscoe turns on Mark Briscoe instead of everyone predicting, oh, well, look we see all the dissension the last couple of weeks between the Don Callis family and MJF. So you are going into that matchup expecting Andrade to turn on MJF. You're expecting Kevin Knight to turn on MJF. What if it doesn't happen? What if the team that looks like a world oil machine is a team that actually breaks up? I like the conglomeration. Don't necessarily think that it needs to stay a team. What if we get like a Roderick Strong taking out Mark Briscoe, and that could be a fun little feud? There's a lot of history there with their Ring of Honor, feuds and their partnerships. I even think that at one point, like Jay Briscoe said that his best friend in wrestling is Roderick Strong, right? They were very close. So you could have a whole story. What if? I don't know. Like, I do feel like if you do pull the trigger and you go MJF versus Mark Briscoe, the crowd's going to eat it alive. And also, like I said, I got to think that the reason why they're showing all this dissension is so it could feel predictable, but then it doesn't happen, right? The other team that show like they're like, the team that's all together and we're just here to help Briscoe. I feel like one of them has to have title aspirations themselves. And it's like, why does he get the title shot and not me? And the only person out of everybody that is listed on Team Briscoe that I could see doing that is Roderick Strong. The motherfucker's a heel. He's been a heel for many years. I don't see Roderick Strong saying like, hey, I'll go into war for Mark Briscoe just so Mark Briscoe gets the benefits of it. So I don't know. I think that it would be very interesting because that crowd fucking booed Mark Briscoe out the building when he said that he's the next world champion and they started chanting MJF. I don't think AEW looks at that as like, yeah, we're going to pull the trigger on that matchup now. Like,
yeah,
I don't know.
That's a fucking real interesting perspective on it. I guess that's a way that you can go to MJF versus Andrade and Dynamite instead of MJF versus Mark Briscoe. But I think you're right. They're probably saving Andrade for the world title shot at Grand Slam, but also maybe MJF retained. I don't know. It's good. It's real good. I think even Kenny Omega said it in an interview recently. It is real good right now, AEW's world title picture, dude. There is just a lot of chaos around it. You got MJF, you got Kenny involved, you got Andrade involved. I don't believe within anything Kevin Knight can win it, but you got Kevin Knight throwing his name up in that ring. Obviously, you got Swerve involved right here. AEW world title picture is fucking fire at Mark Briscoe, whatever. But it's real good right now, man. And AEW is in a real good place with all their championship belts. So I'm looking forward to this main event. I still do think you got some real good theories. I think your Maya World theory could pan out, might pan out. I think this main event one's got to go Briscoe's route, though. You've been building this shit for weeks to a title match. I love where you're going with it. The dissension
he's the devil. He always finds a way. Maybe he promises Roderick Strong a title shot. You take out Briscoe, you got a title shot. He's promising people
Max. What if Adam comes out? What if Adam comes out and costs Max during the match, dude? And what if it's not Adam Hangman Page? What if it's Adam Cole?
What if it's Adam and he makes Kyle O'Reilly and Roderick Strong turn on Briscoe? It's like, hey, you guys are undisputed era through and through. You're not conglomeration.
Oh, and then we get some undisputed shit versus conglomeration. Oh, and then Kyle's in the middle again. Oh man,
that'd be fun, man. That'd be fun. I mean, I don't know. Do you know anything on like where Adam is with his recovery? Like, I know he was talking about retirement, but like,
that's right. That's the last I heard. Probably not good, sadly. That spot was nasty. I saw when I can't say I saw, like I know for sure, but dude, coming back with head injuries and wrestling Kyle Fletcher, who's all fucking souped up on whatever he's souped up on, man, just fucking brutalizing people. I said, this is the worst feud possible for Adam Cole, dude. And then he took that power bomb on the apron, and I was just like, what are you doing? And then 2 weeks later, he's relinquishing his title and can't wrestle anymore. I was like, bro, I knew this was an awful feud. I knew it.
Horrible. Yeah, no,
I'm not blaming Fletcher by any means. It's just, dude,
it happens.
But that's a physical ass wrestler, man. He's a 25-year-old, 24-year-old thick ass kid, dude. Like, against, no disrespect, not exactly. Yeah, exactly. Right.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. But I mean, it's going to be very interesting to see how it goes down. I do think that this is going to be a very fun pay-per-view. The match card looks stacked. I think that it's going to live up to the hype. But yeah, I mean, there's the opportunity to throw some curveballs in there, and I wonder if they do it because there is some matches that do come off as predictable. I wonder if they throw those curveballs into this thing. I mean, I don't know. I don't think it's going to be anything too crazy. Like, I don't see Swerve winning, right?
No.
But I do think that there's going to be some curveballs thrown in because AEW right now, they're really focusing on not just having the best wrestling, they're also focusing on actually having good stories. I feel like the way to have some stories coming out of this, just like you had stories coming out of Double or Nothing and stories coming out of Dynasty and Revolution, is to do some crazy shit like that. And it's like, yo, now I got to watch Dynamite on Wednesday because I don't know what the fuck is happening.
Right.
So I think that this possibly could happen, but I'm very excited for the show. What's your excitement level for Forbidden Door?
Oh, it's like a 10, dude. I'm real stoked for this show from top to bottom. I don't see a match I'm not interested in. Like, it's gonna fucking bang, dude. Every match that I'm real excited for that match that we're looking at right now, and I'm real excited for that cage match, dude. Should be a lot of fun.
No, yeah, for sure, 100%. Before we get out of here, just one quick news thing, right? Because I know we talked about Jack Perry. That was one thing I had down. We also talked about Bully Ray, but I do want to ask you, what is your opinion on Tony Khan saying that he is not interested in buying TNA if it's at the $40 million mark that Len Asper has put it at?
TNA is worth $40 million. I mean, WCW, Vince bought WCW for like $2 million, right? Like,
I definitely don't think it's worth $40 million at all.
I don't think TNA is worth $3 million. No disrespect, dude. I don't know. Like, I get not. They have some talent over there. I don't know. No, I don't blame them. I wouldn't spend $40 million on TNA. What, just to get their library? I mean,
I feel like the best thing that could happen for TNA is if they find a way to sell to Tony Khan as opposed to the WWE, right? You could merge Ring of Honor and TNA. You could have that show on AMC because there is a couple years on that contract. You could have not only a already built-in national broadcast television spot, but you also then could have that video library go to my AEW, which they're trying to build, right? Now you have the AEW video library, you have the Ring of Honor video library, and you have the TNA video library. Talk about having all the alternatives to WWE in the last 20 years, all in one spot, right?
That's sick. Yeah.
I mean, as opposed to what? WWE buys it, merges it with NXT, and then you put TNA vaults on YouTube, and that's it. That's TNA's legacy. Is like, I don't know.
You don't think WWE is going to get it for like $10 million or something though,
dude?
Or TKO.
Here's the thing. I would love. And I always said this, I would love a situation where TNA ends up being ran by Jeff Jarrett again. I was a huge fan of TNA when it was under Jeff, right? I think that was TNA's glory years. I think everyone would say that the glory years for TNA was like 2002 to about like 2009, right? Was the best years for TNA. Jeff Jarrett being a part of, AEW, he did say on his podcast that if it was ever an opportunity to go back into booking and if it was under the right management like Tony Khan, then he would love that opportunity to take the pen and book TNA. I think that if you merge it with Ring of Honor, because right now Ring of Honor is not doing much, I mean, I think that would be best case scenario. That's why I would much rather that scenario than, the video library just goes on YouTube. And because it's not like if WWE had like the WWE network, then it would be like, all right, awesome. You have like one-stop shop, all TNA on demand stuff, but you do not have that anymore. You don't have Peacock. They're barely on Netflix. I mean, shit, I was telling Justin that to go back and do like the DeLorean, like I saw like Monday Night Raw 2000, which was probably their best year, has like 4 episodes. Like, why not just bring every episode and put it there? Like, why even put 4 episodes if you're not going to put all 52?
That's crazy, dude. Yeah.
And it's been like that for like the last 6 months. So it's not like, oh, well, we're in the process of, no, fuck that. You guys are lazy. So I feel like the best case scenario would be for TNA to be under AEW's management. I don't know. Like,
I mean, it's not my $40 million. You sold me on that. I'm down with it. I mean, TNA's got a good run. What do you do with all that talent? You bring them in too? Then you just do it on the. I mean, I guess if you were able to pull off AMC and that ROH talent, AEW talent's huge. I mean, but see, I think Tony Khan's just worried about his own TV deal right now, which is not any fault to his. The product's fucking phenomenal. They're doing real good ratings. I just think that there's a lot bigger things going on with the national networks or whatever. But I think he's just trying to figure that out. ROH getting on TV would be huge. ROH has basically been the new AEW Dark on YouTube though, which is kind of cool. But I wanted to ask you, outside of TNA, I saw Athena tweeted out some dissatisfaction about some shit. Do you think that her tweet was in regards to being stuck on ROH and losing to Maya World and not getting a pay-per-view match, or do you think it was like just maybe about life?
To be honest, this is like news to me. I didn't see the tweet, but I could see where, if it's real, like if it's like a shoot, like I could see where she would be frustrated. I mean, you had to have proven by now that you are one of the best wrestlers in the world, holding the Ring of Honor title for what now it's probably like around like 1,600 days. So, I mean, why are you not showcased as such? Like, why are you so good for the internet show, but you're not good enough to be weekly on television, having that same similar type of run? Like, I don't know. Why is there like a ceiling there? And I feel like a lot of the women in AEW or in Ring of Honor should probably feel the same way. Like Deonna Purrazzo, fucking one of the best wrestlers in the world. Dude. Why the fuck is she? Dude, she was even in that team up with Taya, who's also one of the best women wrestlers in the world. Taya versus Deonna can't get a shot against Divine Dominion. Like, come on. Like, I just don't get why like some women are just stuck in that Ring of Honor level and then we have episodes of AEW Dynamite. It's like, well, what are you doing with the women? There's not enough women. There's not enough stars here. But you have a bunch of stars just brewing down in Ring of Honor, and it's not developmental. These are women who were world champions all over the world now. So, I mean, I think that, and then you have to believe that there's going to be some type of working relationship with Tessa, because Tessa Blanchard is in CMLL now full time. AEW works with CMLL. You could have Tessa in Ring of Honor. You want to have Tessa, Diana, Taya, all these stars in Ring of Honor, and not have anything for Tekla on AEW Dynamite? That's fucking wild.
Crazy. So, yeah, I found the tweet. So she said, honestly, I feel some type of way about stuff right now. Maybe I'll explain one day, but for now, vague post. And then she lost on Collision the next night. So, I mean, and then Swerve had also tweeted something about dissatisfaction. I don't know if you saw that one or not. It'll probably take me a little. So I'm wondering, like, do you think he's unhappy that he's like right now he's basically the stepping point to the world championship? Or do you think like this is just like maybe some storyline that's brewing or something?
For Swerve, I would say it's storyline, because I know Swerve, like, he's very close with Tony Khan. I think that the thing with Swerve wanting power and wanting to be like having all the power, like he's been saying that on TV. I think that might be more story. Athena, I think, has a real gripe. Just like I said, how much more can she do on Ring of Honor? Like, if you ask me, she should have lost that title in 2024 to Billy Starks at Final Battle. She should have been up on AEW. So, like, I agree. Like, that's probably making her feel some type of way. And I would probably feel the same way if I was her.
Yeah, no doubt. But yeah, that's all I would. Yeah, I wanted to ask you about those the Swerve and Athena thing. I thought it was real interesting.
Thanks for bringing it to my attention, because like I said, I didn't even hear about the tweet, so that's very interesting. But yeah, I mean, besides that, like, I got nothing else. Are you good?
Dude, Golden, can't wait for fucking Sunday night, man. Golden,
I'm excited.
Baby.
I'm totally excited.
Collision's gonna be fun. Collision's lower level fun this week, dude. It's a lot of bigger stars against lower level stars, like Chris Jericho against JD Drake, and I saw the main event should be good though. Mercedes and Athena against High and Amaya, world building towards that match. So there's a couple other Kevin Knight against Desmond Xavier for the TNT championship, so that should be good. So yeah, some lower level stuff, but should be all in all a good show.
Now, yeah, I definitely think that they're going to be a little tame before they go fucking balls to the wall on Sunday, because yeah, it's going to be a great weekend for AEW. A lot of wrestling this weekend. I think that there's no chance in hell, and this is no disrespect, but there's no chance in hell that Night of Champions, Slammiversary, or Great American Bash touch this show. So I'm very excited for Sunday night. That's
all going down this weekend?
So you got tomorrow, you have Night of Champions, and then on Sunday we have Slammiversary in the afternoon, and then head to head is going to be Forbidden Door and Great American Bash.
I wonder what's going to win that one.
Right. So that's why, cheap plug, but within the next hour, we will be live again with the Wrestling DeLorean podcast on the Circle Debate Network. Nice. And me and Justin are going to be doing predictions for Slammiversary and for the NXT show. We got the predictions for this show here, and I did the predictions for Night of Champions on Monday. Never did so many predictions for different shows for one weekend in my fucking life. So
that's an insane amount of wrestling this weekend. Yeah, wrestling's been great, dude. I've been loving Saturday wrestling, MLW on YouTube, and then I watched Collision, and then we watched AAA, which is the best WWE product by far and away. Which is funny, it's not. I still don't know that's necessarily a WWE product, but I digress. But yeah, man, the MLW and the AEW and the AAA on Saturdays is a real fun time. So,
dude, Saturday has been amazing, and yeah, shout out to MLW. They've been killing it. But do you have anything else going this weekend before the shows, or?
No, I'm going out tomorrow, so I don't know if I'm going to see Night of Champions live. I'm not really intrigued for that show, just the one match, Oba and Jay. I'm curious to see who wins that match. That's really my only intrigue level about that show. It's because Oba's a fucking star. And no, other than that, not much. And I'm just stoked for this show on Sunday, because this thing is going to fucking bang, slap, and.
Hell yeah, man. I'm definitely excited. Like I said, you could catch me on the Wrestling DeLorean podcast in like the next hour on the Circle Debate Network. We also are going to be back with a post show for Forbidden Door on Monday. So very excited for that. Should be a lot of fun. I love when we do the shows 2 times a week, when we do like the post show for a pay-per-view, and then we come back on Thursday for the Dynamite post show. But it should be a lot of fun. But with that being said, thank you everybody for checking us out. We see that the channel is growing. So for everyone who is subscribing, liking, viewing the shows, we really appreciate everyone who's been checking out the All Elite Dirt Sheet YouTube channel. But like I said, a lot of wrestling going down this weekend. I don't think anything bigger than Forbidden Door, but whatever, your cup of tea is for professional wrestling, there's probably a show for you this weekend. So I hope everyone enjoys. You could catch us on Monday with a new episode of the All Elite Dirt Sheet. And that's it. Take care, enjoy wrestling, and have fun watching Forbidden Door. That being said, peace out, y'all.
Enjoy, folks.
Hey!